Hello, everybody. NC4XL, North Carolina for extreme lovers of nine. Just Dom, the darling old man. Welcome to POTA, Parts on the Air. Here we go. Okay, I've worked them. Now what do I do? Do I have to upload a log to them, or how does that all work? And what happens when they move to another park? Do I get to work them again? I don't really understand. Don't fret. Let's see if we can just touch a little bit on some of those questions right off the bat. When you work any POTA station across the bands, you hear them calling CQ POTA type thing. If you're at home, write it down on a piece of paper, or if you're on your logging software that you use, go ahead and log it. Now remember, you're a hunter. You're working the POTA activator. That's the folks that go out into the different parks and set up their portable antennas and run off of either QRP or QRO and run a single park, or if they're in a twofer, that's where there's two parks that intertwine with each other, not butt up to each other, but intertwine with each other, or a threefer. And they sometimes get a little bit more than that when you have trails involved. But see, you're new, so one of the things that you want to do is just work them. Now, if you haven't registered for Parks on the Air, please feel free to do so. It costs you nothing. No monies. Your achievements and awards that you'll earn once you get started cost you nothing. Zero. You get to download them, put them on your own device, or print them on your own home, and away you go. But let's go back to the beginning. I keep working all these different people. For you as a hunter, you do not upload a log anywhere for POTA. Okay? You can upload on QRZ. You can upload to LOTW, a WRA, I think a WLA, World Book Log of America. Any of those places, Club Log, that wherever you upload your information for yourself at. But you're going to earn the credit for making that contact with that activator once they have uploaded the log. Once they upload the log, then you'll receive the credit for the contact and or contacts. Some folks go on a rove. They may go 5 different parks or 10 different parks, or all the way up to 50 some different parks in one 24-hour UTC date. Not local time, 24-hour UTC date. Let's go back to what I said earlier. If you have joined Parks on the Air with registering, and you come to the, we'll say the green page, the page that shows you all the tabs on the left-hand side. Scroll down, and we'll start out to the hunter's log, where you see my hunter's log. Scroll down there. If your activators have uploaded their logs, and we used to have to wait 30 days for the logs to be processed. Now, many folks, they process them before they leave the park, or if they're traveling, they may process them a few days later. I always process mine 24 hours later because I've run a few numbers and I get tired easy. I'm an old man. But if you scroll down to my hunter's log, you'll see the stations that you worked have uploaded the contact. Now, when you first go to that page, the first tab up there on the left-hand side says My Awards. Okay, if you've earned some awards, And this changes daily, especially if you are a hunter that stays quite busy chasing different activators. Look where it says My Awards and scroll down and see what you've earned. When you look at it, you're going to see a little file for the name of the award you've earned. Right-click it and download it to your computer. And you can save it and print it and have a book. I quit printing after 700 and some pages, but I've been doing this almost 5 years. You'll find that it's very addictive chasing all these activators and then looking at chasing every park in that state or chasing a park in every state. And you can do that in CW. You can do that in phone. You can do that in FT8, FT4. You can do that in slow scan TV. You can do that in satellite. So there's not much that you really can't do. It's just start getting the antennas to work that particular style or band. But we welcome you. There's a lot of questions you're going to come up with. As an activator, let me share this with you. Again, keep in mind, each one of us, and here's the main point, each one of us activators have a style that's our own, that we have created, that we operate like. So as you're watching the spotting page and or spinning the dial and you hear a call sign, take a couple moments seriously. You don't have to be in a race because this is not a contest. This is a contacts type of pleasure, but not a contest. So listen to your activators and how they're running it. They may be calling by district. They may be calling for DX. They may be calling for QRP. They may be calling and do like what I do. If you ever hear me, I'll tell you up front, I take a list. Okay, some people don't like it. That's okay. That's how I do it. And so far, it's proven to be pretty good, and folks realize that they'll get through the list. Give your call one time. You don't have to keep repeating your call over and over and over again. It's not a race. And for the folks that run a KW or so with me and they get in the list from the very beginning because they got enough power to persuade others to be covered up, they're going to be the last ones I go to because I do it this way. First is last, last is first. See, you just learned a little bit about me. Now, every activator that activates a park is unique. And that's the fun part of being a hunter. You will all of a sudden find yourself chasing certain people because you like how they operate, or their signal's always great, or their style makes you feel comfortable, and that's a good thing. But don't assume that everyone is the same. We are not. Just like you hunters are not. And as an activator, there are certain hunters that sometimes think that they got to be number one all the time. Well, a lot of times there may not be number one, but that's the learning curve. When the activator has uploaded it and you've gone to your My Hunters log and you see it confirmed, now you're on what I call a POTA addiction because you're going to want more. Let's give you some numbers to think about welcoming you to Parks on the Air. At present, there's over 60,000 different parks across the world. And there's over 85,000, I didn't stutter, members such as yourself that are chasing the activators around the world. When you go to the spotting page, very simple, when you go to the spotting page, as you're looking down and you see the either listed by frequency or listed by time or listed by park number, I always do mine by frequency because it starts out with 40 meters because I primarily operate 40 at first when I go out, but then I'm operating early in the morning, 1300 UTC. But you will be able to go down the spotting page, see who's spotted, what frequency they're on, and then see if you're able to work them and make contact. Now, if you're doing that and you want to help the activators out, on that spotting page under their particular call at that particular park, you scroll down a little bit and you'll see where it says respot. Once you are a member, of course, obviously you'll be looking at this. Once you hit the respot, your call sign will be put in automatically. So go into the comments section of there and put 59 North Carolina, thanks, running QRP, or whatever you would like to put there. Now, once you hit spot, then that information is transmitted and will show up on the spotting page. It won't stay there long if other folks behind you make a contact and they respond. But here's the secret. On that same spot, scroll down a little bit to the bottom of it before it goes to the next person. You'll see a little green icon. That green icon says history when you put your cursor over the top of it. Click on it. This is a very advantageable thing to learn, because if you're working an activation where they're at 2 or 3 parks, or they have multiple operators, a lot of times in the comment section, they will post the park numbers. They will post all the operators' calls. And speaking of operators, now for you new folks, let's see if we can bring you up to par on how some of us activators work. Again, not everybody's this way. There'll be several times where there'll be 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 14 activators. And all of us will allow you to work each and every activator. And if you listen many times when that particular park is run, there'll be a break and they'll change the activator who's operating right then and there. But they are all there around in a huddle just about. They're sharing the time, calling CQ POTA. And when they say all 3 ops or all 4 ops, please trust them that they're all 4 there, or they're all 3 there. There are some folks that will not work a multiple operator scenario because they don't feel it's right. They're not out there and they're not seeing the families that are all wrapped around the radio. And the time element, because of the growth that you're involved in, Parks on the Air, it can take quite a while to get through a list, especially if you have 10 different operators. But I can assure you that if they say there's 10 operators and they post the call signs there, and you want to log them into QRZ, remember that little history icon at the bottom of that particular spot. Click on it and it'll show you all the comments and spots, and you should be able to find some of the information you're looking for. Now, again, remember, as a hunter, you're going to run into different styles of people, band conditions, propagation is up and down. And if you've been a ham for quite a few years, I'm an old timer. I've been licensed since 78, started in 77 learning CW. But we've gone through 4 cycles, approximately 11 years, up and down, up and down. And we're probably on the start of a downhill run for 11 years or so, 10, 11 years. So that's going to happen. So propagation is going to be really what I determine as wonky. Some days are good. And for you new folks that want to go out and activate, let's throw this in there. Anybody can be an activator at a POTA park, at a POTA assigned park. Okay? You don't even have to spot. You don't have to spot, but know the POTA park number where you're at. Get your system set up, especially if you have the internet. Watch a spotting page. Do park to park and your call sign, a park to park, November, Charlie 4, X-ray Lima. And once I've identified, then I can give my park number to that person. I never have to spot, but I do have to upload the logs. If I get 10 or 25 or 45 or 6, they still should be uploaded because activators are also chasing various achievement levels themselves. This is what they call awards, but there's not really award because it's self-inflicted achievement. So we talked a little bit about that. I want you to have fun, and if you're up early in the morning, check the spotting page out. VK and Japan are there early in the morning, 5:30, 5 o'clock Eastern United States time. So you can see if there's an opportunity for you to get some of those DX. Let's talk about DXCC. Alaska, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, United States are all you consider each an individual entity. Okay. So as you're working different parts of the country, when you work activators that are in France, Germany, Spain, Italy, Costa Rica, Puerto Rico, you already told you already counted that one. But each one of those DX countries counts as a entity, meaning the country. Don't be confused with when we say park entity of whatever the park number is. The growth of Parks on the Air, now that you've hopefully listened to this point, is all voluntarily taken care of. It's supported by people who give their time, money, knowledge to keep Parks on the Air going. And we appreciate the development team. If you have a question, utilize the help desk. That is what they're there for. The dumbest question that they ever get is not getting the question that somebody thinks is dumb. They're there to help all of us. We just have to take the time and reach out to those folks. They will respond. And again, remember, everything that Parks on the Air has been doing for almost 5 years for myself is all volunteer. So I appreciate them. They're working as fast as they can while they have a family life, while they have a job, while they have grandkids, while they have bad health. You know, all the same things that you and I go through every day, but they're wrapped up in Parks on the Air. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you taking the time to ask that question, what do I do next? You go out and enjoy yourself. Amateur radio is a hobby. Go out and have fun. Listen how many others are doing it. See what you like and follow the code of conduct. Or be respectful to your neighbors. Remember the edge of the band plus or minus 3 kc is in the testing that we all took. So 7.177 is right on the edge. 7.178 safe, and I'm not pulling any generals out of their part of the band. Is one of the things that we all do is we try to follow the guidelines that got us our license. May God bless you. Have fun, and welcome to Parks on the Air from November, Charlie 4, X-ray Lima, and of course, that's North Carolina for extreme lovers, but we do have a club call, November, Charlie 4, Papa Oscar, POTA on. It's actually Eastern North Carolina portable operators. We appreciate each and every one of you, and we wish you lots of fun.